Hello, welcome back to another video. Sorry I didn't really get to churn many out last week. I was quite busy at work, I'm not going to lie. I'm actually off work this week, so hopefully I can knock out another one or two. If my voice sounds different, I feel like it does. It's because I had a lot of drinks at the weekend and I'm still kind of feeling the after effects, I'm not going to lie.
Stop it. Get some help.
But yeah, what I'm going to talk about today is I've not covered any of my PlayStation 2 collection yet. I wouldn't say it's as, well, if you could call it impressive, but I wouldn't say it's on the same level as my PlayStation 3 or my PlayStation 4 collection. But I do have some games in there that, for me, I kind of remember them from my childhood. My friend had a PS2 and used to go around and play the games with him at his house. And a lot of those games are what I've picked up and kind of put into this collection. So I'm probably going to have to split this into about 3 videos, just because it'll be a very, very long video otherwise. So yeah, you know the score. Let's just get straight into it. Okay, so the first game I've got here is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I decided that, you know, I've not even read the books, and I've just bought the first one actually. I've got it downstairs. I'm waiting to get round to reading it because I'm kind of trying to finish a few other books at the moment. But I thought, yeah, I've seen the films, but I've never really read the books. And I understand there's a lot in the books that isn't in the films. So I thought, if I'm doing that, why not I just try and follow the video game franchise as well? Now, again, I always seem to start with like the second or third game in the series. It's daft, but what I noticed is the Philosopher's Stone. I think it was on PS1 initially, and I think it is on PS2, but when I looked it up, it was really expensive. So I'm kind of just getting my hands on the ones I can at the moment without spending too much money. I have actually played a little bit of this. It's really good. A lot of people seem to remember it very fondly as well. I've just got up to the part, I'm running around. I've just been in that Diagon Alley collecting beans and getting my equipment for Hogwarts. And now like I'm up to the part where I'm kind of just now allowed to free roam Hogwarts. One of the nice things about this game was I liked collecting all the wizard cards. And from what I've seen of the other games, that's a theme that kind of carries on through them. So yeah, I kind of want to have every Harry Potter game for each of the books. But yeah, I think it's going to take me some time to do that if I ever do it, because I don't want to spend silly money on it. But yeah, nice little game. Okay, next we have Ultimate Spider-Man. For me, this is probably, well, I've not played the most recent one that's come out on the PS4, but for me, this was the best Spider-Man game I played. The great thing about this was I remember that as I played the game, there were so many characters in it. There's so many different like bosses and villains from the comics. And I just felt like it kept going and going and introducing new characters. You can play as Venom in this one as well. It's all like, the graphics are kind of like comic style, cel shaded. It's really good. The first time you play as Venom, I remember you're like fighting Wolverine in a bar. It's actually pretty tough, that bit as well. It's harder than I remember from my childhood. I've been playing this quite a bit recently as well, and there's like challenges, you know, around the map for like swinging like races and stuff. And there's one where you can like race the Human Torch, and I absolutely thrashed him in the first race. And then the second race, I was like, wow, this is really hard. How did I manage to do this when I was a kid? Sometimes I think to myself, I'm better now at video games than I was when I was younger. But then I go back to games like this, I'm like, I did this when I was younger, no problem, and now I'm struggling. So I can't really decide if I'm better or not. Maybe I'm better in some aspects and worse in others. I don't know. But yeah, this is a great game. It's also on GameCube and Xbox as well. But yeah, for me, this was like the best Spider-Man. I remember it quite fondly. Okay, this one I've not played yet. I picked it up really cheap for like £3. But I'd heard good things about it, and it's Blade 2. Now, I know the film wasn't the best, but then again, it wasn't the worst. That privilege is held for Blade 3, I think. Blade Trinity, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I've not played it yet, but it looks like, yeah, it's basically just like a action platformer by the looks of it. But I understand, I think in this they had a mechanic where you used the right stick to kind of hit in different directions, and it was quite unique. So I thought, yeah, I'll give it a try. It's got some unique gameplay elements. You get to play as Blade. It's the only, I think there's probably been other Blade video games. I think there might have been one on the PS1. Not sure if it was actually any good, but apparently this one's kind of alright. So I'm going to give this a try at some point. We're continuing the Marvel trend here. Yeah, next one, XMen Legends. Fuck off. Continuing the Marvel trend now, XMen Legends 2, Rise of Apocalypse. Again, I bought the second one, I don't have the first one. But this was basically like Marvel Ultimate Alliance of X-Men, or is Marvel Ultimate Alliance XMen Legends 2, but with more Marvel characters. I think you can actually unlock Iron Man in this, because as you go through, you collect like parts of his armour. So I thought, oh, it must be unlockable. Yeah, I was having some real fun with this. And then, yeah, unfortunately it crashed on me. I think that's more to do with my PS2 Slim, having the disc error, which I intend to fix at some point. It struggles reading discs now. Hopefully one day I'll get a PS3 that's backwards compatible and just mod it. But yeah, until then, I actually do have this on PC as well. It's now actually abandonware, I believe, so you can download it for free. So if you can get it running, you know, it's a good laugh to play. But yeah, this is a great game. I've sunk quite a few hours into this one. Okay, this one is one that my friend had, and I remembered it from back in the day. I remember watching him play it, and I thought, oh, I want it for myself. I want to play it. It's Ring of Red. This is such a unique game. It's like it's a turn-based strategy game, but with like mech walkers, as if it was like a World War II era. It's like an alternative World War II. It's all set in Japan. The storyline, I'm not going to lie, it kind of went a little bit over my head, but the actual mech combat is absolutely brilliant. I might put some gameplay of this up at some point. I really enjoyed playing it. It's very, very slow paced. Like one map could take you an hour, 2 hours. You know, in places it can be a little bit tedious, but the whole idea of the mech combat is brilliant. As well as your mechs as well, you have like squads of soldiers around you, and they'll have special abilities. Like they might have a smoke shot that can kind of try and blind the enemy mech, or they'll have a shot that can like wire its legs, trip it over. They'll have like special modes of fire where they can take out the enemy troops. You can get medics, engineers, I can't remember what you call them. I always do that. The guys with the missile launch is the, you know what I mean? I did that in another video. I didn't know what to call it. But yeah, it's really, really good. It's a really good game. It's a quality game. If you can pick this up cheap, like, definitely pick it up, especially if you're into like strategy. If you don't mind for me, I don't mind the slow pace of like each engagement taking a while. It's very methodical and you think it out ahead of time. I actually really like that, but for some people, yeah, they just want a bit more going on, I guess. But this, yeah, great game. Okay, this game, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I just got the silver platinum one because it was cheaper, even though it kind of sticks out of the shelf a little bit, but not in a good way. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. It's one that, again, I remember my friend had it. I used to come round and we used to play like 2-player, going through all the levels. The music's really good. The atmosphere is really good. Yeah, I gave it a little bit of a play. It's quite, I actually find the combat quite difficult to get a hang of. Like the countering system, you have to be really good at timing your counters. I remember when I was younger, like my mate was always really good and I just kept getting killed. But yeah, I want to sink some more time to this and because I know I can get the hang of it. It's just, yeah, some systems just I find a little bit tricky and harder to get the hang of. But this is great. It plays 9 different characters. Yeah, you can play as well all the main ones from the Fellowship. You can play as the Hobbits. 15 different levels. You know, split screen co-op. It's absolutely brilliant. It is a really good game. So yeah, if you're into like your multiplayer, kind of like, I suppose you could call it beat 'em up, couldn't you? Really? Yeah. But yeah, it's great. Okay, another Lord of the Rings game. This one is the Third Age. This one is more like, if you think like, it's an RPG. So you've got your party, like your 3 party guys, and then you'll have encounters like you fight some goblins, you fight big ogres. It's actually really good. Again, the music is brilliant. They're all like original characters, as in like they're not really the characters from the films. You do have temporary parts where other characters from the films will join your party. It's like a linear RPG. It's actually, I don't mind it being linear. It's really not a problem for me because the actual quality of the combat's like pretty good. So yeah, this is definitely one that, if you're into your RPGs, I would recommend picking it up. It's quite cool. All your different characters have different abilities. Some are better at magic, some are better at melee, some have more health. But then as you level up, you can get items and you can equip different parts of armor. Another great thing about this as well is when you equip the different parts of armor, you actually see it on your character. That's like a big thing for me. I like when you can see your equipment upgrading and your weapons. So yeah, good game. Simpsons Hit and Run. Yeah, everyone says this is probably one of the best Simpsons game. I played it a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I've not played a lot. I probably am going to put some more time into this. But yeah, it just strikes me as like sort of like GTA really, but it's The Simpsons. I actually had fun collecting all the different tokens and stuff. There's like tokens you can collect. I'm quite into my collectibles now, to be honest with you. Yeah, but the missions are fun, and you've got all the different characters in there. You got some different cars. You can change your outfits, like unlock different outfits with the tokens you collect. Yeah, it's a good game. It's a good game. You'll easily be able to find some gameplay of this on YouTube. There's probably like thousands of hours of it. Okay, this one is one that got recommended as a bit of a hidden gem. Sub Rebellion. I think of this as like Star Fox, except every level's the sub level. It's a bit more faster paced. The sub level in Star Fox, I remember it was really like slow and methodical, which was great for like one level. But yeah, this is a little bit more faster paced. Also, you can kind of go to the surface and attack things on the surface. You can have special weapons for those. Between missions, you can go into like a menu, you like equip different weapons, upgrade your weapons. Yeah, it is. This is actually a really good game. I'm not sure who made it. Oh, actually, it says on the front here, IREM. Never heard of IREM. But yeah, it's a decent game. You can probably still pick it up pretty cheap, so I would suggest do that if you can. Next one. This one was another one recommended in Hidden Gems. Tokobot Mysteries of the Karakuri. Yeah, this is like a platformer. I suppose you could call it almost like a little bit of a puzzle platformer. You have like a little line of robots that follow you. You can use them as weapons to attack, and you can use them to make bridges and like climb up ledges and stuff. So yeah, the robots like play a big part within it. So far, it's actually been pretty good. I played a couple of hours, but again, I did drop off of it. I kind of need to sink more time into it. But yeah, this is definitely a quality game. Sometimes you can tell, you're just playing an hour or two, and you're like, okay, this game's pretty decent. So unless it tails off a lot, like halfway through near the end, then I would probably, if you can pick it up cheap, then why not? That's the beauty sometimes. If you can pick up a game for like £3, it doesn't matter if it stinks. It's like £3, Okay, following on with the Harry Potter collecting, Prisoner of Azkaban. Yeah, I got the silver platinum version, but yeah, whatever. I've not even played this one yet. The Dementors are coming. It looks like the graphics have kind of improved a little bit. I noticed as these games went on, they started kind of making them look a bit more mature as they went on. Maybe trying to just follow the actual theme of the films and the books, I believe. Oh, apparently this one is enhanced with iToy USB camera. After school games including Exploding Snap, Chocolate Frogs, and Sorting something on. Guess that says hat. Still got the sticker on. I've not even took the sticker off a lot of these. I need to do that. I just need to be careful when I do it. I don't know if you saw that Ultimate Spider-Man before, absolutely covered in stickers. Champions Return to Arms. Yeah, really good game. Think Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, which is like different characters. Plays pretty much the same. 2-player split screen. It is really good. I've noticed in places it was a little bit laggy, like there was a bit of slowdown. In fact, yeah, quite a lot of places. But the game's actually pretty good, I'm not going to lie. In fact, Return to Arms is actually alright. I have the other Champions of Norrath. I played that. That was laggy. That was proper laggy. I bought this one, Return to Arms. This one actually isn't laggy. I've actually played quite a bit of this one. My mistake. I'm getting the two confused in my head. But yeah, this was really good. In single player, I like to play games on hard. And when I played it on hard, it was like, I basically had to play as the Barbarian Woman, put all my points into health, go dual wield melee. It was like the only way that I could kind of survive. But yeah, there's a few different classes, I think you've got your druids and your spellcasters, and you've got like your more archer orientated ones. But yeah, this is a really good game. If you liked like Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, you'll absolutely love this. Personally, I actually think this is better. It just improved on the previous one for me in every way. Like I just said, the previous one was very laggy. This didn't have the lag. The graphics, really good for like PS2. Kind of like the Dark Alliance series, they were really good graphics. That was one of the main selling points, I guess. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this one. You might have to pay a little bit more for this one. I think you can pick it up on Xbox as well, I believe, though. So yeah, whichever one floats your boat, basically. Harry Potter again, Quidditch World Cup. Yeah, I played this for like an hour, and then I was like, is this it? It's a little bit repetitive for me. I was absolutely if I can remember, I was absolutely just destroying it. Like, I was winning the games, like, I don't know, 10-0 or whatever. They just couldn't score against me. I just kept getting the ball and kept scoring back. And then I think when you get to like a certain point, then it lets you chase the golden snitch, which I also found pretty easy. It was just a bit easy. But I just thought, look, it's a kind of a unique kind of sports style game. It's Harry Potter. I'll pick it up. Dragon Quest VIII. A lot of people think this is the best version. I actually have this on my 3DS as well. You know, the version with all the DLC and stuff and the extra characters. The one cool thing about this version is that when you get to like max tension, you get like the spiky Super Saiyan hair, and for some reason they took that out of the 3DS version. They also censored some of the Puff sections. Yeah, if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is just a solid RPG. If you don't know what the Dragon Quest series is, yeah, they're basically like, if you think Final Fantasy, but with like kind of a Dragon Ball art style, and really like the Final Fantasy's kind of gone off in a very different direction in the way it plays, whereas Dragon Quest has kind of really stuck to its roots, apart from the odd like spin-off, but it sticks to its roots more. And I think some people prefer that, some people don't like that. Personally, I prefer that. I like this style of game. I like knowing that's what I'm going to get, and then you can do what you want with the story around that. You know, that's for me how you make the game different. You can tweak the battle system and stuff. Nothing wrong with that. But I think now with Final Fantasy, they've changed it so much. And for me, I think it peaked at about the battle system for Final Fantasy X, or even, well, I was talking about X2 in another video. I loved that battle system. I thought it was awesome. But I know that's a bit of a, yeah, it's a bit like Marmite for some people. You either love it or you hate it. But yeah, solid RPG anyway. Going off the sidetrack there. Solid RPG. Pick it up if you can. I'm not sure how cheap this one will be. You notice I got the platinum one because I just wanted to play it, and I was just trying to save a bit of money. Prince of Persia Warrior Within. I've actually got this in the HD collection, but it was just so cheap to pick up. There you go, £1. Yeah, it was. This was actually my first Prince of Persia. Continuing the habit of just starting about 5 or 6 games, whatever. This is the one where the big like death-like demon thing is chasing you and trying to like absorb you and kill you. It's after you, and you go through the game, and there's like a nice little twist as you go through the game. And yeah, I won't ruin it if anyone wants to play, but for me, this had like really like cool music. Like it was almost like, yeah, it was like heavy metal style music at certain points. It definitely had a different vibe, this game, which made it stand out a little bit more from the rest for me. You know, I've dabbled in the others, but this was the one I started with, and yes, so far for me, I actually think this is the best one. Okay, this game, Mercury Meltdown Remix. I think this was on the PSP as well. And I don't know if there was one before this, because they still say remix. But it's like a puzzle game where you play as like a lump of mercury, and you've got to go through the level, and you can kind of like split up into different blobs, and you like moving and tipping the mercury around. And you can also like change the colour of the mercury. So there'll be like switches, and it might be like, oh, you need to be green to go into this switch. But then there might not be a place where you can actually change your colour to green. So you might have to mix blue and yellow, like basically split yourself in half, blue and yellow, then merge them back together to make green. There's loads of like gravity defying mechanics at some points later on. There's places in the stage that will kind of shoot you forwards or slow you down. Yeah, it's a good game. I kind of enjoy just going through and trying to master all the elements of each level, complete within a certain time, collecting all the tokens, getting the maximum score. Yeah, it's a good game. It's decent. You can probably pick it up pretty cheap and you'll get some fun out of it. So yeah, Mercury Meltdown Remix. Not played this one. Road Trip. It looks like an RPG where you play as a car. I think I saw it online and people were banging on about it like it's a hidden gem or something. So I was like, oh, I'll pick it up. And I think I paid like a £5 for it. I've not actually played it yet. More than a race, this is a racing adventure. Yes, I believe you do like race other cars. Oh, it looks like you kind of play. Oh yeah, there in the top side. Looks like you play a bit of car football. So maybe this was the inception of Rocket League.
serious?
But yeah, it looks pretty good. Customize your car, enter races. I think I've seen some people speedrunning it. That might be why I bought it, actually. Maybe it wasn't a Hidden Gems video. It was that long ago I bought it. I definitely remember watching a speedrun of this, though. Yeah, it tickled my fancy, so I picked it up. Second Sight. This is a good game. It's made by the same people who made Time Splitters, I think. The graphic style, you can definitely tell. This is actually a really good game. You play as, it's like a third-person shooter, but then as you progress through the game, you start getting psychic abilities. You can take over people's minds and control them as a character. You can start levitating stuff, throwing it around. It's really good. I've played quite a bit of this one. I'm actually going to go back to it. I'm definitely going to finish this one at some point. This is one I want to finish. So yeah, just going through these games now. I've not touched quite a few of them for a while. And I'm just thinking, wow, I want to play through this again now. From Free Radical Design, the creators of the award-winning Time Splitters series. Do you know what I've noticed as well? I was having some real trouble getting some good image quality out of my PS2. I bought adapters that were recommended by other channels, spent about 110 quid on this HDMI adapter that's supposed to upscale it. And now I don't know whether it's my eyesight or whatever, but I'm watching it and I'm like, it doesn't look any better. And then one simple fix that I did, now this might not be for a lot of people, but I changed my screen size. All the TVs now, they're like widescreen, but you can kind of change it so that it goes into the standard square. You know, like you used to have back in the day on the CRT TVs. So I do that. So I've kind of got like two black strips either side. It's a little square. It presses the image down into the size that I'm guessing it was kind of made for. Looks so much better, so much clearer. I'm like, wow, this is how I remember these games looking. In fact, if I had a CRT TV, I'm betting that would be the ideal way to play it. I might even pick one up just for that, to be honest, because even to do that now, like second hand getting a CRT TV, it's going to like save you a lot more money than buying all these fancy new adapters that are going to upscale your PS2 and everything. But now I'm happy with, I'm not looking for amazing image quality. I just want decent image quality so it doesn't feel blurry to me. It feels sharper. And yeah, when you do that, this resolution, I can't remember what it's called, where you just kind of box it in and then you've got the black strips. It looks great. Next game, I believe this is actually going to be re-released in HD. Not this game specifically, but I'll have all this content on it. And it's Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. Yeah, so this was, I think it's Super Monkey Ball 1 and 2, which a lot of people would like argue the best ones on the PS2. It's got all the mini games in there. It's got all the tricky levels. It's just fun to play. It's Monkey Ball, like, you can't complain. So yeah, for me, this was great at the time. There was no better Monkey Ball out there than this, for me, personally. Now I believe they're going to be releasing something soon with all the Monkey Balls on it in HD. Like, you know, the good and the bad. More like a collection. So I'm going to have my eye on that. I'm definitely going to pick that up because it's one of those games that it's like, you can have somebody around for a party who knows nothing about video games and they'll play it with you because it literally is just pick up and play. Definitely, like, this is pretty much the definition of like easy to play, easy to pick up and play, but really, really difficult to master unless you're a speedrunner. I mean, watching some speedruns of this is insane. They usually do the pause frame buffer thing a lot, which I can't decide if it's cheap or not, but still the way they do it, they'll just bounce off some random object and finish the most insanely difficult level that you've spent hundreds of hours on your life on in like a couple of seconds. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure they've put a lot of practice into it, but like I think it's quite an impressive thing to watch. Okay, this one's a Capcom game and it's called Shadow of Rome. Now, yeah, I can't remember where I picked this one up. I might have been watching one of these videos, like 300 PlayStation 2 games in 15 minutes or something, and it was just banging through them, and this was one of them. And yeah, you're playing as, well, at least at the start, you're playing as like a gladiator. Or are you playing as a soldier? I think you're playing as a soldier, then you become a gladiator. It's something like that. It's been a while since I played it, but it's really gory. Like the combat's really gory. You can chop off limbs and everything. You can even pick up the limbs and then use them as a weapon. It's really cool. The combat's, well, I was playing it on hard. Maybe I need to turn these difficulties down to experience the best of some of these games. But yeah, even on the back, you can fight tigers, you race in chariots. I think this is potentially quite a bit of a hidden gem. I've not played too much of it. I played like 2 hours, but again, like I just said before, like I'm looking back at these and I'm like, wow, I really want to like start finishing some of these games. Okay, the final one here. I think this has gone up in value recently. And I think it's because it included a character in there who's now sadly passed away. I think it might have been has DMX passed away? I'm pretty sure he has. But yeah, now everyone's like paying more for the game. Jam Vendetta. I think there's another one like Battle for New York. I can't remember if that's worth more or less, if I'm being honest. But even as a standalone game, it's a really good fighting game. And it's got loads of rappers in there. Yeah, featuring DMX, Ludacris, Method Man, no, not heard of him. Redman, Scarface, WC and more. It's not really my thing, rap, but yeah, it's like wrestling. Yeah, it's just like wrestling on steroids with all the rappers and stuff. I've yet to give it like a proper play, but I have vague memories of it from when I was a child, and I remember it being decent. And I picked this up when it was pretty cheap, and then yeah, with DMX passing away, like apparently people are paying more for it now because he's in it, and I'm guessing it probably features some of his music as well. So yeah. Anyway, that's probably the first like third of my PS2 collection, I'd say. Most of the games in there are like some of my favourite ones. But I've got some more, yeah. As you can tell, they're not in like the best condition. I bought them all second hand. Like none of them are brand new. The only brand new ones I've got are the ones that I opened in the mystery box in the other video. And I am like fully intending to do that again because I quite enjoyed that, and it's nice to just have some PS2 games that don't look like they've just been dragged through edge backwards. So so yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Just a quick one. That's the end of that. And hopefully I'm going to try and upload some more stuff this week because I'm off work, so I have a little bit more free time to actually like put into this. Also, there's a big blank space here. I'm thinking I'm going to do something with this. Maybe put something like kind of artistic. I've just not decided what yet. So like keep your eyes open because that's hopefully going to develop over time. Alright, anyway, if you like the video, hit like, smash subscribe, all that stuff that everybody seems to say. And I'll see you again next time. Bye.